This is my wardrobe. 153 items. Some of them I've worn over 100 times, and others I've never worn. And I'm guessing it's the same for you. Why is that? And more importantly, what does it say about our style, our shopping habits, and what can we learn from it? Alright, so today, in the true spirit of No by November, we are going to go over my most worn clothes of all time. And they're probably not going to be what you think. If you've been following me on Instagram, then you probably know that I like my style to be a little bit eclectic, with lots of colors, different styles, and sometimes not very flattering silhouettes. But is that really reflected in my most worn clothes? And if not, why is that? Those are the questions we'll be answering today, and we're going to learn something from it. Because this channel is all about learning more about our personal style and getting the most use out of our wardrobes. And we're gonna get a lot of outfit inspo as well. Let's do it. So for this video, I'll once again be using Wearing, my favorite digital wardrobe app of all time. Well, technically it's the only wardrobe app I've ever tried, but it's just so good, so why would I ever need to try another one? Anyway, I will be using the stats from my Wearing app as the basis for this video, and those stats show some very interesting things. My most worn clothes are apparently 2 pairs of shoes, a single coat, a single blazer, and a single shirt. But because I would like to be able to create an outfit with only my most worn clothes, I will also be including my most worn pants in this video. And I'll actually show you the full outfit towards the end of the video so that we can compare how different or similar it is to my usual style. So starting out with my most worn pair of shoes, it's actually my Nike sneakers. I've apparently worn these 124 times, and may I remind you, those are only the times that I've actually documented them in the app, which means that the actual number is even higher than that. And do I even have to explain why I wear them so much? They've been with me ever since they were the #1 trending shoes, and then all through the chunky sneakers era and the samba craze that we've been seeing for around a year or two now. Because they're just the perfect middle ground between chunky and slim. They're super casual, but also stylish, and they go with just about anything. And did I mention that they're super comfortable as well? Wow, I might actually be in love with a pair of shoes. No, but seriously, I'm not at all surprised that these are my most worn shoes, and if there's anything that I want you to take away from this video, it is to find a pair of shoes that are as versatile for your style as my Nikes have been for me. If you buy something that matches your life and not the current trend cycle, you will wear it again and again and again. Next up are another pair of shoes, but they're very different from the last pair, and it's actually my black Dr. Martens boots, and according to the app, I've worn them around 50 times. But that number is probably higher in real life, as are most of the numbers in this video. And these shoes have been through it, and I mean that in the best way possible. I've worn them, as you probably should, in the spring and in fall when it's a little bit too rainy to wear sneakers. But I have also worn them in the middle of summer with like a nice summer dress to get that contrast between a rougher boot and like a really frilly dress. And I also brought them with me on a ski trip to the northernmost part of Sweden, where there was like 6 feet of snow. And they've been able to do it all. So again, while a very different shoe from a pair of sneakers, they are similar in the sense that they can also be worn almost anywhere and anytime. And that's probably why I've been wearing them so much. If you're having a good time so far, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss any videos like this in the future. I could talk all day about how to find your own style and how to get the most out of your wardrobe, and I will, but in future videos, because otherwise we would be here all day. So subscribe to make sure that you're not missing any of that. So let's get back to the next clothing item, which is not a shoe. Alright, so next up is my trusty blue coat. And this is actually one of the last purchases I made before I decided to only buy thrifted clothes, and that was about 3 years ago. And I bought it in the hopes that I would get a lot of wear out of it, which I did. 64 wears to be exact, and again, that number is a lot higher in real life. While I have been having a hard time struggling to find a thick puffer-style jacket that I like, this coat has been doing a surprisingly good job at keeping me warm and looking stylish at the same time. Now, it is a polyblend coat, which means that it has started to pill a little bit, but that's nothing my depilling machine can't fix. And if you don't have one of these, then you probably should go and buy one, but after No by November, of course. And sure, a button fell off sometime during last year, but so what? No one can tell, and I still wear it every day. And it looks really good. And I hope I'll be able to wear it for a lot more years going forward. So this next one is probably the one that surprised me the most, to be honest, and it is my black blazer. Which is surprising because I do have other blazers that are more colorful and that I feel like I have been wearing more. But obviously I was wrong because I have worn this one 47 times. And you know what? Now that I think about it, it actually makes sense because a lot of the times when I put together a very colorful or playful outfit, but I still want to tone it down just a little bit, that's when I throw on my black blazer. And it does the job really well. A little too well, apparently. And I think that is a really funny thing about personal style, that the pieces that we think define our style aren't always the pieces that we're wearing the most. And so the last item for today is actually also quite boring. It is my white cotton shirt. And while I feel that this item is basic in the same way as my black blazer, I think this one makes a little bit more sense to me because I wear it as a base in a lot of my more colorful outfits. So kind of like a reverse to my blazer. And I've worn it 49 times. That is a lot of usage for just a basic white button-down shirt. And I mean, basics might not get you compliments, but they get worn. So what would an outfit with these pieces look like? Let's find out. All right, this is the outfit. And I have to say I'm actually kind of mad about how much I like it. So I actually did have to make one change to the outfit because the white shirt that I showed you in the talking head part of the video is actually in the laundry basket, and I was not about to go and dig it up from there just to put it on for this video. So instead I swapped it for this light blue button-down shirt instead, which is like the closest thing that I have to it. So it gives off kind of the same effect, but I also think that it adds to the outfit just a little bit, because I feel like if I was wearing just a white button-down, then I probably wouldn't like this outfit as much as I do right now. And there were a few different directions that I could have gone with because, or there were two directions that I could have gone in, because I could have styled it with the sneakers instead, but I ultimately felt like it would look better with the black blazer, and then I added the black belt and then the black shoes. Because as you all might know, if you watched my latest video, I love the idea of bringing one color with me throughout the entire outfit. So you have a little bit of the bottom, you have a little bit of it at the middle, and then a little bit of it at the top as well. So yeah, like I said, I actually really do like this outfit. Even though I feel like if I were to scroll through Pinterest and see an outfit like this, it probably isn't an outfit that I would feel super excited about. I wouldn't be like,
oh my god, I have to wear that, or I have to recreate that.
Because again, like the colors on the surface level, they don't really appeal to me that much. I feel like the colors of the items in themselves are a little bit boring, if that makes sense. So that is why it wouldn't quite catch my eye if I were to see it on someone else. But now that I'm trying it on for myself, and like when I looked at myself in the mirror before filming this, I was like, damn, this looks good. And I actually feel really good in it as well. Like it might look a little bit dressed up and maybe like a little bit too polished as well, but it's actually super comfortable. So yeah, I'm a little bit mad. But okay, so what can we learn from this? Like the fact that my most worn pieces, like according to my app data, aren't pieces that I would pick from a crowd. If I were in a store and I had to choose between like this big selection of colorful items, I never would pick like a black blazer. But still, it's one of my most worn items. And the same goes for like the shirt and the jeans and the boots as well. So what does that tell us? And once again, like the outfit, now that I put it together, is also not an outfit that I, on the surface level, would go for or find particularly stimulating. But again, here we are. This is the outfit and I like it now. So yeah, what can we learn from that? And I think it comes down to what I said previously in the video, which is that our style isn't actually made up of the pieces that we like the most. It's made up by the pieces that we actually live in. And I think that's a big mistake that a lot of people make when they are shopping or like trying to find their style, that they're in their head too much. We're visualizing the idea of ourselves, or like an ideal lifestyle that we want to have, instead of looking at, okay, well, but what is my life like right now, and what types of clothing does that lifestyle require? And I think that's what ultimately leads us down the path of buying a lot of things that we never end up wearing and then have to donate. So just by making that tiny switch of like visualizing your style instead of actually feeling your style and taking a look at what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, I think there's a huge amount of money to be saved from that, and also like some fun things to be learned about yourself and your style as well. So yeah, I guess that's a like huge takeaway from this video, for me at least, and I hope it's the same for you as well. And apart from that, style changes. Style is never constant. I think the fact that we're even talking about style as something that we're finding, and like, I've found my style, we're talking about it in this static sense of that once you found it, like once you've reached the destination, then you're there, you've arrived, and nothing will ever change again. But is that really the truth? I don't think so, because like your life is going to change in so many ways, and that means that your style is going to have to change as well. So the fact that these are my most worn pieces right now isn't actually that surprising, because I've been on a style journey for the past couple of years, and like I said, I will be on a style journey for the rest of my life, because style is never a point you can arrive to. Of course, you can arrive to conclusions about your preferences and what you think is fun to wear, what you prefer to wear, and what you feel good in, but those things are going to change. And I think that, yeah, this is a good representation of what my style has evolved to be over the last couple of years, but who knows what it might look like in the future. That's something to think about as well. And so I think one really good question to ask yourself when you are shopping is, instead of thinking like, is it my style, or even do I like it? Obviously you have to like the things that you're buying or you'll never wear them. But yeah, instead of thinking about it in terms of like preferences, try to think more in the terms of, when will I wear this? Think in terms of usage instead of style. I think that's the key takeaway from this video. Instead of thinking, is it my style? Try and start to think, when will I wear it? Or how can I use it as much as possible? So there you have it, my most worn clothes of all time. And if you want to get even more inspiration for your current wardrobe, then you should definitely check out this video where I recreate popular Pinterest outfits without buying anything new. So that's it for today, take care, and I'll see you soon.